What are the secrets of becoming power couples? What do we find common amongst most power couples? Whether it's the Serena or the Dave and Joyce Meyer, or whether it's Jakes and Bishop Jakes and his wife, or whether it's someone like Pastor Daddy Adeboye and Mommy Adeboye, whether it's Daddy Oyedebo and his wife. When you find these power couples, what do you see that makes them to be strong? Number one is shared vision. Number one is shared vision. They embrace joint adventure. Number one is shared vision. Please let me say this. The journey to becoming a power couple, a sufficient couple, a strong couple, a couple that the children can look up to you and they know that they don't have anything to be worried or afraid about. What is the beginning? What is the foundation for becoming such a power couple? Is what we call shared vision. This is going beyond what we share in bed. It has to do with sharing a common destination. We are sharing together where we are going to, our lofty expectations, our big dreams, our great vision. Where are we going to? Crystal clear. We sit down, we talk about it, we share it. My wife knows, my husband knows, we both know. It begins with a shared vision. My wife knows what I'm pursuing as a person. I know what she's pursuing as a person. And we know what we are pursuing as a couple. Because a house divided against itself shall not what, sir? Say it loud and clear. It shall not stand. So let me ask you a question. The Bible says where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. There will be disorder, there will be chaos, there will be lack of appreciation. Because what binds you together as a couple is a shared vision. Trust me, having a shared vision is very important. Talking to each other about what you both aspire to become, what you both aspire to achieve, it's critical. Let me tell you why some gifted men don't go too far in life. The man is pursuing something that the wife knows nothing about. His elder brother knows about it. His mother knows about it. The only person who is ignoramus is the man, is the wife. And you have cases where the wife knows what she's pursuing. The husband knows next to nothing about it. Think about what happened to one of the pastors here in Abuja. Many of us really heard so much from that story. When the man died, it was a popular story here in Abuja. In one of the churches in Wuse here, when the man died, it was after the man died that the wife started getting to know so much about her husband, a pastor. She then began to know how much her husband was worth, because now the banks were beginning to tell them that, look, this is how much you're worth. That's when she got to know that the husband was also married to somebody else. That's when she began to hear the husband does this, the husband does that, the husband does this. No shared vision. The saddest part about amongst some couples that the wife has no clue about what the husband does for a living. Don't know anything about my husband. You're not going to become a power couple like that. Power couples, they share dreams. One of the key things about power couples is that they share vision, they share dreams. And for those of us who are Christians, the reason why we need to share is so that even if my wife is not going to be the one that will put her boots on the ground, let it be that my wife is praying for me. Right? That's it, sir. One of the saddest things we had was the case of one of the women who lost her husband. And when I sat with her, my wife and I went to sit with her somewhere in Life Camp. As we sat with her, we were talking. She said, Papa, as I'm talking to you right now, she said, I don't know what my husband was doing. So we have to start probing into his investment. Where does he have money and stuff like that? She said, because he's not talking to me. He's not talking. What are we pursuing together? Let me ask you a question. Why are we together if we're not pursuing together? Is it gotten so bad that we now see each other as each other's adversaries? Wait a minute. You mean that I live in the same house with you? I'm not afraid of living in the same house with you, because listen, if I am the one that you're afraid of, that maybe one day I will kill you, I know when you sleep, I will program. I've been sleeping in the same house with you and I've not poisoned you to death, and you say, call me your adversary? That's what Paul says. Someone has bewitched you. It takes bewitchment. So the challenge here as power couples, the challenge, what God is calling us into, is a place of shared dreams. So I know what my wife wants to do. I know what she's pursuing. So the first thing we did January this year, and I want to thank one or two of our elders who made it happen, because my schedule was such a crazy one. To even take a break was difficult, but somehow it happened. And then we're out in the hotel. So we were there for about 7 days, and those 7 days, God knows that I was not there all the time, you know. So on the first day, second day, my wife was like, so what is our plan for the year? I said, no, let's relax. We are here for 7 days. So for the next 5 days, we're just going to rest. On the last day before we depart, we'll now talk about our dreams. So last night we sat down. What is your vision? What do you want to do this year? So I was writing down, and she said also, what do you want to do? And I told her, these are things that I want to accomplish this year. And how about us as a family? Is what we want to accomplish. And then number 3, we started looking at budget. And when we look at budget, because it's important that you think about budget. If you have dreams without budget, you are just wishing. It becomes a serious thing when you put money to it. How much it's going to cost us? That's when seriousness comes to the matter. And as we began to discuss, we got to discover that we will be doing this year what we have never done all our lives. And then we're going to be spending, only God knows, I don't want to put a number on that, multiples of what we had ever done. Question: what is my current predictable income? Practical reality. If this will be sponsored, if this is going to be accomplished, it means we need to scale up our income. So my head had to go to work. What do I need to do in order to predictably achieve that goal? So that has sent me to work for hours non-stop till now. So every day I am sitting down, I am putting things in place, and I'm about to round up now, come to the final phase of it, and then push things out. And then I can go into a relaxed mode. I can start playing golf with you. I can start dancing with you. And whilst I'm dancing with you, some things are dancing somewhere else. But it's taking me months of work on a daily basis. So I finish PPH, I go to work. It is so bad, my wife was like, food. I said, baby, don't forget, we have a goal. So the point I'm making here is there must be a shared vision. There must be a shared vision. And in sharing our vision, it's important for us to understand that we must unleash a unified goal. We must unleash a unified goal. What are the goals we both share? So that's where we're going to. What are we going to be doing now? What is the next major thing we need to do together? What steps should we take? That's where we're going to. We know our destination, but what steps should we take? Many are good at crafting vision, but very poor at setting goals. We will look at that another day, how to set goals as a family and then accomplish your goals within a short time. That's one thing God has always helped us to do, to accomplish our set goal for a year within a short time. Then you'll come to realize that there's something we call lag measures and lead measures. Your lead measure is where you're going to. That's the ultimate goal. Your lag measures are things you must accomplish daily in order for the lead measure to become a reality. Once you lag in accomplishing your lag measure, it is very obvious you're not going to accomplish your lead measure. So we come to the end of the year. We are the same family who was wishing in January that we'll have jumped 16 feet high, but here we are almost sometimes 2 feet below even the below, not even talking, we've not gone 2 feet high, or we are just 7 feet, we've not gone to 16. Because it takes more than wishing for things to be working. Listen to me. Look at the power couples we're talking about. Look at the power couples. Have you noticed, when was it that Michelle launched a book? Was it 2 years ago or something? She launched a particular book. If you notice around that time, you notice she was all over on televisions, right? You notice she was granted interview, flying here, attending conference, promoting the book. Is that okay? Now it is important for you to know that she has a goal. The reason she wrote the book is because she has a goal. And in order to accomplish that goal, she must ensure that certain steps are taken on a daily basis. In sharing our vision together, we must master the art of collaboration. That is one thing power couples are known for. They collaborate a lot. They master collaboration. They weave their plans and their aspiration together. Please, I hope you don't just listen and do nothing about this. I pray that you're able to find a way in your own way to get these things done. It's great to work together as a couple. I understand there will be a lot of issues in between. We will find a way to deal with all of that. Crafting harmonious roles in sharing our corporate vision together. It is important for us to be able to figure out what will be your role, what will be my role. We all don't necessarily have to do the same thing. See, your role might just even be, can you take care of the children whilst I'm busy, so that the children don't become my distraction. That is a significant role. But then we understand that it is a role you are playing. And I appreciate you, because it's not just your responsibility, it's our responsibility to take care of our children. But we are saying that because this time around I will be pursuing a lot, so I would have less time to be at home. I am saying to you, it's not just your job, it's our job. But would you please hold forth on my behalf? This is not just like leaving it to the person, hoping and expecting that the person think it's my job. No. It's our assignment, but I'm not going to be available. So would you please be kind enough to give more attention to the kids and tell them stories about why daddy is absent. Please, I'm saying something here. Tell them stories about why daddy is absent. Look, you know your daddy is, you want, how many of, what do you want? Dad, mommy, I want a toy. You see that toy, that's why your daddy went out to go. So you connect reward to daddy's work. The reason children don't honor their fathers is because mothers don't tell them stories. So you want to tell the children the stories about, you know why daddy went out? Oh, it happened to me. It happened to me. I gave my son my card because we use the same bank. I gave my son my card and I gave him my PIN number. I said, anytime you need money, just transfer money from my account to yours. His phone number was in my bank. I said, transfer money to your account. After 1 year, we went to see him, and when we met with him, I said, Dad, how are you doing? He said, I just want to give you a card back. I said, why are you not? He said, for what? Okay. Then I mentioned to some of us here, I said, he will ask for, maybe if he asks for 100 naira. I said, Father, I feel, I've been in boarding school, I've been in university. How can you be asking for 100 naira? So I was okay, let me send my son with based on my discretion that he will need much more. I'll send my son 200 naira. My son would text me back, hello dad, please, I only ask you for 100, please don't send me 200 again. So I called his mom. I said, what's happening to your son? I sent him 200 from the generosity of your father. And the boy is saying no. She said, I'm excited that he's keeping to that. I said, keeping to what? She said, I've told him how much you work so hard to get them what they use. No wonder my son will call me and say, Dad, I hope you're taking some rest. I'm like, fine. It was later I got to know that the mother was telling them stories about how hard I work. It has gotten so serious now that whenever I'm going to speak, if not because of her age, my daughter wants to be following me around. So when I'm coming here on Thursday, what interests my daughter is to sit down. She just wants to watch me minister. And as soon as I'm coming out, the first thing my daughter wants to tell me, Daddy, that was a very good one. I love the presentation. I love the way you came in here. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. So my daughter is in love with what I do. My daughter values what I do because a mother told them the story, connected. Otherwise, she just say, your father, I don't know. Your father has gone out again. Mommy, where is that? You know your father, he goes out. He has gone out again. What do you mean by go out? Make them see, make them honor what going out means. What does it mean, go out? Praise God. So let's get the kids involved. Let there be some sense of collaboration between husband and wife. And if the wife is the busy one too, and the husband is less busy, hello daddy, where's mom? She's not back from work. Come guys, you need to appreciate your mom. You need to help your mom. You need to help her clean the house. You need to help her fix this. Your mother is working so hard. Let's tell our children stories that will make them value what their parents are doing, what all of us are doing. Have you noticed power couples, like maybe when Serena is going to play a tennis match, have you noticed the husband will come there with the children? And then when they see their children, and their children are watching their mom rise and fall, some at certain age carry their children to go and watch their fathers fight boxing. Have you noticed American parents, they will carry their kids to military base where their fathers are stationed? What are they doing? They are making the children to have a sense of appreciation for what the parents are doing. That's how to become a power couple, and that's how also to create that kind of mindset in our kids. Mommy, dad is not back. Well, that's what I've noticed. He doesn't come back early. Why does he always come back late? I don't know. You notice he will go out in the morning and come back late in the night. I'm also tired of it. What are you doing? What are you doing? So we must learn to create harmonious roles. In our dance of love, we must harmonize individual roles and responsibility, crafting a symphony of shared vision, unparalleled excitement in our individual roles and relationship. It is important that we figure out how we can work together as a couple. Power couples celebrate their individual roles. They celebrate the individual parts they play to make a marriage work. Number two, I wish I have all that time to talk to you about that. Number two, strong synergy. Strong synergy. One of the powerful things that I enjoy a lot about watching power couples is a strong synergy between them. Synergy. They don't compete. They complete each other. They don't compete. They complete each other. My money is just for the purpose of administration. It is our money. Do you understand what I just said now? My money is just for issues of administration, because somebody must be held responsible by government for an account. Is that okay? That's when it's my money. My car, only for the purpose of changing what you call documents with the road safety, because if they will allow Mr. and Mrs., then you can put in Mr. and Mrs. Otherwise, that it is in my name doesn't mean it is mine. So there must be dynamic collaboration. So instead of competing, we engage in dynamic collaboration with each other, seamlessly blending our unique strength in order to create an harmonious symphony of success. It is what we do. It is what you do as a power couple. We minimize our weaknesses by blending our strength. We don't use our strength to fight each other. For instance, if you are good at administration and your wife is poor at organization, one of the things you don't do is, where's the woman that organizes for her husband? Where's the woman that does organize it? Fantastic. God bless you, ma. So one of the things you never say is, look, you are a scattered man. No. Are you aware, ma, that if you are not in that house, it will amaze you to know that he will take on a secondary organizational skills. The same man who leaves things behind. So in essence, it is a consciousness of your presence that makes me relax. It's a consciousness of your presence that just makes me to say, look, you know what? Because you are here, I don't bother about this. It doesn't mean I can take it on as a secondary skill. It is therefore dangerous for me to use my strength to insult my partner. I say you are disorganized. Use critical words. It's dangerous to do that. So my wife was the best at it in the early days of our marriage. So we'll come back, I throw my shoes down. My wife will say, come my friend, come back, pick your shoe. And then she'll tell me, go and put your suit in the hanger. And then I didn't know the hangers normally face the same direction. I didn't. I still don't know why, but of course I just still do it. Ma, okay, when we face them in the same direction, okay, wow, this is making sense to me now. So because I'm still, I'm like, okay, so they all face. It looks like sometimes are they reporting to somebody or like. Do you get what I'm saying now? So, but my wife is that good. She's that good when it comes to arranging stuff like that. But that was not my strength. That was not my own strength. But she did not insult me. She did not use it to insult me. She found a way to just carry me along until today. Now it is now a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior to this. She doesn't need to be in the room for me to know that the hangers must face each other. Somehow it's like when I'm about to put the hangers, it's like she's around. It's a learned behavior. Praise God. But I didn't learn it through insult. I didn't learn it through she demeaning me. No. And it took years. It took years for me to become better at it. At that. No, and when it comes to packing before you travel, my wife likes to pack things, set her bags for a trip 6 months ahead. It's still confusing me. I still don't know why. She will suspend some clothes from walking until 6 because I'm traveling 6 months time, so let them all be inside the bag. So now I'm learning that now, but my own is not like 6 months, it's now 6 weeks, sometimes 6 days. Sometimes it happens 6 hours. Listen, you have to appreciate the progress I've made. God bless you. God bless you. God will honor you. You too will make progress. From nowhere to 6 hours, that's a lot of progress. So I remember one of the days I just woke up and I'm looking, I'm traveling this morning, and I'm like, okay, yeah, ta-da, yeah, you good? So because it was a little bit dark, so I picked a black socks and a blue one. So it was when I got to the event, in the light, I was not going to, I'm like, this is all good together. Praise God. So it takes time. Please, can I ask you to do something? I will be patient. Write it down. I will be patient. I'll be patient. Now, one of the funny part of it, it was about 14 years into our marriage. recently, 14 years into our marriage, was when Mama looked at me and said, hey, baby, that thing you've been telling me before, I understand it now. I said, God, that I should have divorced you long ago on that. Now here we go. If I divorced that 14 years ago, it would have been a premature divorce, because she's not a fast learner of that particular thing. It takes her time to appreciate the value of that thing. But she's gotten it. Patience. And that's why they say that marriage doesn't begin until 10 years into the marriage. So 10 years is when we start. Okay, so we start learning a lot. And so many marriages are thrown out of the window long before marriages are given opportunity to take on their own structure. It will amaze you to know that the older certain marriages get, the better they become. All right, so let's get going. Dynamic collaboration is important. There must be unified momentum. Rather than racing against each other, we must always learn to move in unison, igniting a powerful momentum fueled by shared dreams and aspiration. So what that simply tells us is that as couples, we must learn to run with each other as against running against each other. Run with each other. It's a very powerful thing that powerful couples do together. Team brilliance. They embrace the spirit of teamwork. We're going to be dealing with teamwork on a different day. I'm just going to deal with teamwork in marriage. But one of the things that power couples do is that they are very good at working as a team. Now, in working as a team, please look at this, everybody. In working as a team, just like the teams that you work in, you know very well that teams are not made up of similar people. Am I correct? Teams are made up of different people. In actual fact, a real team, a cross-functional team, a well-designed team, the whole idea is that the team must be different, must be composed of people who are uniquely different. Am I correct? The whole idea is that everybody brings in something that somebody else doesn't bring. Am I correct? That makes for the strength of the team. Similarly, in a marriage, we all have different competencies and uniqueness. And that's what makes us a great team. So I'm not going to sit down here and begin to look down on my wife because of what I'm good at that she's not good at. That's why I'm good at it. There's no need for duplication. There's no need to clone your partner, make your partner become you in order for you to have a marriage. You don't need that. Celebrate uniqueness, celebrate diversity. So I'm idealistic. My intelligence, the way my mind works, is very idealistic. That's why I'm a leader. I'm visionary. My wife is not idealistic. My wife is pragmatic. So my wife has what they call pragmatic intelligence. That's done by profiling. My wife has pragmatic intelligence. When you're talking to my wife about vision, dream, and all that, my wife is busy thinking about practical things she can do to get them done. And she's always practical, hands-on. My wife doesn't like too much of all these idealism, visions, and all. You talk about the vision, my wife is talking about how to get it done. How to do it is her focus. So by allowing her, and you know, for that kind of personality that is pragmatic, you understand that what that does for someone who is idealistic or someone who is a thinker, when I'm sharing my vision, usually for thinkers, we always want sympathetic response. What does that mean? So that's a great thing you share, sir. I will also look into it. That makes visionaries to be excited. That you think and somebody also say we think about it. That when you share a vision, sir, give me time, I also want to look into it. Sir, also I saw a vision from the vision you saw. Do you understand? So it makes, you know, it just makes people, those who are visionary, to surround themselves with similar kind of people because they're sympathetic. Now, the kind of persons that most visionaries and phlegmatics don't like, they are usually people that are pragmatic. Because most pragmatic people are choleric. They are action-oriented doers, alpha kind of, if they are females. So the next thing you find is that I'm talking to her about this, and then the next day she wakes up, oh sorry, and that thing you talk about, I think we need to do. I said, I was not talking about doing it. It would have been nice if you woke up this morning and said, sorry, I thought about what you said. That's sympathetic to me. I thought about it. It's a great vision. Then we keep it like that. And then next year again, we'll talk about the vision. But she says, no, that's not who she is. So it is a reason why 80 to 90% of the things that I've accomplished in this city is traceable to her. Traceable to her. Because the moment I talk about it, she makes me do it. Am I excited when I'm doing it? No. Am I happy when I see the document in our name? Yes. Do I reward her eventually for that? Absolutely. Is that the reason why maybe she continues to do that? Yes. She has become better now in the way she gets me to do things. Oh, she has become extremely better. But whether it was in a rough way or in a nice way, she has helped me to overcome the challenge of my bloodline. I'm telling you that. So the point we are making here is that we must function as a team. We must all bring, there's a reason why you married this woman. It's more than for children. And let me say this, in the worst of all of us, there is our best side. You want to write that down? In the worst of all of us, there is our best side. Your wife carries something your destiny needs. I don't care to know how successful you are. If you honor the uniqueness of your partner, you can become better than you are today. Barry, see, correct person put for God, put for your side. Your life is, see how your life is looking now. Do you have a picture of us? You don't have it. You've lost all of them. I wish we can all go back to what we look like before God blessed us with some of the women he blessed us with. I shouldn't go there. Have you heard this? If God wants to punish you, he allows you to marry the wrong woman. If God wants to bless you, he enables you to marry the right person. This is the point. No matter how blessed you are today, if it is in one marriage, please, I want you to know, if not for your spouse, you will not have become what you are. You only need a troublous partner for your life to be a mess. May you not see the trouble that make you forget your name at an interview. Deus says, what is your name? Say name. Sir, hello. What is your See, the reason why you may not understand what I'm talking about is because you've never been in it. May you never see it. Men have gone into drugs. Women have gone into all kinds of stuff because of partner. I've seen high flyers reduced to nothing because of who they marry. I shared the story of a church, the first church I preached in America. That was the only church, sir, in that part of the world that ever hosted Daddy Papa Ayo or Sir Jaffo. So you can imagine what I'm talking about. Way back before 2010, Before I came to their church in 2010, they had hosted Papa Ayo. So it was a church commanding doctors in that part of the world. They had medical doctors. God bless them. This man was married to this. I've never seen such a woman. I still spoke with her yesterday or the day before yesterday. When you land to invite me, she was the one that wrote the letter. I wasn't in the US for a spiritual assignment. I was in the US for a different assignment with the US government. And they got to hear I was around. They gave me a call. And they said, Reverend Sam, you must come to preach in our church. I said, no, I didn't come for church matters. And I said, coupled with the fact that the US government is hosting me, I said, they will not let me come and preach. The wife said, tell Reverend Sam I'm going to write the US government. In my mind, I laughed. I said, tell her to write them. Because in my mind, I didn't see that as a reality. I don't know what this woman wrote, sir. And I got a call from the people that were with us, and they said, sir, we want to let you know that we received a call from the US Department of State permitting you to leave California on a Friday, but you must be back to base Monday morning. I'm like, really? She said, yeah, she pulled it off. She was able to make it happen. And I said, okay, fantastic. Then the next thing, she sent me tickets, everything. I'm landing, they picked me up. On Sunday, I was going to church. It was a wife that was driving. In all my times in that city, I never saw the husband drive. We're coming from church, she's driving. We get to church, she administrates the church, whipping the church to order operations, admin, and she was excellent at what she does. She takes the microphone to teach. You are like, my God. She moves in the prophetic, you are amazed. That was the woman God used to give us a prophetic word when we were to build this place that came all the way from the US, that God told her what we needed to do before we started the building here. And then all of a sudden, one day, this same woman used her sacrifice to bring the family members of the pastor to their city. And as soon as they came, they started pumping his head, because when they saw the way she was administrating things, my friend does nothing. The only thing my friend does is, she said, Pastor Sam, he only reads his Bible and he watches football. How they pay bills, nothing. He doesn't know anything about all of that. She takes care of everything. So when our Nigerian people came, be careful who you allow come to your house. Your freedom may be misinterpreted by them. If they are too used to bondage, your freedom will be an offense to them. That's how they started talking, and they say, our brother, your sister, your wife is the one controlling you. They started using those words. And gradually, sir, before you know, he bought into it. He said, oh, and then he called me and he said, Reverend Sam, he said, I just want to tell you something. I said, what is this, sir? He said, I've decided I'm divorcing my wife. I said, sir. I said, which wife? I said, the woman I told you to send for training on emotional intelligence and church organization. I said, that woman will take your ministry to another height. This is the kind of woman most pastors are looking for. A woman that is hands-on. No shame, she doesn't carry. Once she gets to work, no mama. I said, sir. He said, no. He said, Pastor Sam. He said, I'm the one that believe with her. I said, for years, this woman would just say, she just want. I begged him. And I then said to him, I said, sir, all the people who are telling you to divorce your wife today, I said, sir, after you are divorced, all of them will turn their back on you. I begged him. It got to a moment I started crying. And that day made me to remember Pastor Isaiah. That day made me to remember a man of God in this same city whose church was commanding unusual influence. Pastor Isaiah and I will watch this man of God, sir. He will tell directors, permanent secretaries, come to my house in the morning, 5 a.m. And then they will tell them, go to the stream, go and carry jerrycan, fetch water. You will see directors running about that, because it's prophetic. Influence, money. That was a church that I believe would have just gone very far. They celebrated their anniversary, and as soon as they finished celebrating their anniversary, all of a sudden, some people started pumping things into his mind about his wife. He bought into it. And he called me and he said, Reverend Sam, I'm divorcing my wife. I begged him, I cried, I begged him. He would not listen to me. I called Pastor Isaiah. We went to area 11, area 8, Ibadan 1 street. We went to the hotel where he was. I knelt down, Pastor Isaiah knelt down. I said, sir, I beg you under God. I said, don't do it. Oh, he said, Reverend Sam. In fact, he said, Reverend Sam, you know, a lot of bishops have spoken to me. Men of God have told me that truly she's the obstacle to my ministry. I said, sir, this woman that I know, obstacle to what, sir? He will not listen. I wept. That was the last time I saw him on that note. Just like I did to this other pastor. The moment I gave him that last call, I cried. I said, sir, don't do it. He chose to do it. He said they've told him that if you take her out of his life, that his ministry will grow. As soon as they had that divorce, few months later, he went to pick up a wife. That church is nowhere today to be found. A church that hosted Papa Yorisa Jaffo before 2010. The one we're talking about in Abuja that we went to, sir, a church commanding influence here. That church does not exist anymore in the city. Has the man lost his gift? That's what I want to open your eyes to. Has he lost his gift? Has he lost his ability to preach? It tells you that there are environments that makes you flourish. Have you noticed something about the environment where corn grows? It's never dramatic. It's just there. But there's a reason why the corn grows. Just there. Sometimes the reason why you don't cherish your wife or your husband is because they are just there. Not dramatic, nothing. No, they are just there. But they are the reasons why you are flourishing. Beware of thinking what is happening to me is coming from me. There are appointed persons that God says, okay, because you honor this person, I will cause you to flourish. Lot learned it the hard way. When Lot began to prosper, Lot thought it was coming from him. He didn't know it was prosperity by association. Prosperity by association. I usually don't like to look at it, but I want to ask them to send for me. Please, let me have some of the pictures from Light to Academy. I can watch them now. I need them now. Because, sir, as I look at most of us, Sunday, as I look at you, I look at myself. And we think about this woman that God put in our lives. Sir, we know the difference. You don't know the difference. You want me to tell you? You remember Kado? Fish market? Before this woman entered your life. Fish market. Your own direction was, you were already heading towards Nasarawa. They say people should be heading towards London. But Sunday was moving beyond even where there was address. But see what those women, no drama, no spectacularism, no, but our lives found an environment. Never trade environment for drama. Never. Never. Remember where you started from. Tell him not to write. He should look up here. Remember, you don't write now. Owena House. Shoranti. Owena House. I need that picture. Why is Minister Manos bending his head? You are thinking, when a house. Your wife around you. It's not Mrs. Pepper, she's not, doesn't do all that. which is the job of prostitutes. Prostitutes fascinate you. Wives facilitate you. Am I talking to somebody here? The job of a wife is to facilitate your greatness. And if you're a grateful man, you will know that since I met this woman, my life has been on the upward trajectory. I can't explain it, but it's just that I've been rising. Similarly, when a man who was rising meets a bad woman, you can tell, since I married her, I don't start today. The only thing you do for a partner whose environment has caused you to flourish is to invest more into honoring them. Invest more into honoring them. No price should be too much for you to pay in order to honor an environment that makes you flourish. My time is gone. Strong synergy requires swapping roles. Swapping roles. Call it swapping roles. See, one of the things I found about power couples is that no role is fixed. Did you hear me, sir? Look up here, I will leave you with that one. No role is what, sir? No role is fixed. We may accept as a team to say, look, sir, whilst we're pursuing this goal, you are in charge of cooking. I am in charge of. But it doesn't mean that if for any reason there's a disruption, I can't step into the kitchen. Are you getting what I'm saying here? There's nothing that says that Barrister Chedu can't be responsible for taking care of the kids. And you've done a fantastic job. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't make yourself happy. You've done a fantastic job. Now me they praise you. Done a fantastic job. There's nothing that says you can help your wife. There's nothing that says you can do that. On a lighter note, who says you can wash pants? What is if you can remove it, you should be able to do what? Pastor Nelson, I'm speaking now, you're looking back. It's the very serious matters of the kingdom I'm sharing with you. Amen. Who says there's anything special that a man can't do? And so those of us who are me, what is me? It is the reason why we now get abroad and you are not even doing worse than that. Not for your wife, or you are doing for somebody else in a care home. You are not only removing butter, you are not removing just the pants, you are removing dirty pants of the old people you are taking care of, because he says you must survive. What you say you should learn to do at home easily, you are not doing very difficult ones. So the point you're making here is that there are no fixed roles. Times may require that I play a particular role, and my wife plays a particular role. Why not? We had a particular month. It was December, and December is one of the most expensive months for us because you have to send gifts to all kinds of, and it's better when you are not known. Your budget is but once the Lord is good, so you start watching budgets go in millions just to say thank you to people at Christmas. On one of those occasions, my wife just said to me, she said, baby, don't worry about the family side. I'll take care of all the families, all our family members, your mom, our extended families, everybody, what we normally send to them. Say, don't worry, I'll take care of that. I said, baby, do you know how much it is? She said, I know. She said, don't worry. I said, don't worry. I'll take care of everything that they need. I said, come close. I said, you know, when I told you that God said you are my wife. See, look, nothing makes you reaffirm that someone is your wife than when you are feeling the weight of life and you hear, don't worry, I'm here for you. I'll take care of that. But how can she help me to do that if I had crippled her? Are you getting what I'm saying here? How can she help me if I crippled her? I've seen few things happen that has taught me a lot of lesson. One of the days I called my wife and I said to her, baby, come